Welcome to Real Estate IQ Wisdom for Smart Moves. We will explore the insider secrets tailored exclusively for Silicon Valley home buyers, sellers, and investors, arming you to conquer the unique real estate landscape. So, without further ado, let's dive into this exciting conversation. Today, we welcome Travis Palser, the Vice President of Operations at HomeGuard. With expertise and a keen eye, he has assisted numerous Silicon Valley homeowners and investors. His journey and insights offer valuable lessons in property care and investment. Thank you to our sponsor, TradeMyHome.com, for their community commitment and for making this podcast possible. Pool inspections are essential in real estate, but often need to catch up. Data indicates up to 30% of hidden pool problems go unnoticed, risking financial burden for buyers. Wide-ranging inspection costs create uncertainty, with 45% of buyers expressing dissatisfaction. Standardizing pool inspections is crucial to boost trust and protect investments. Our host today, Sharad Gupta, is a real estate broker in Silicon Valley and brings a wealth of life and professional experience to his role as a podcast host. The following content is only for informational purposes. Please consult a licensed consultant for your specific situation, or if you need any specific legal or tax advice.
Travis, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Why are pool inspections necessary when buying or selling a home?
Well, the pool is actually a pretty expensive system. It has a lot of maintenance costs, a lot of installation costs, upkeep that goes along with it. So you do want to know the state of your pool. Right. So having inspected lets you know where you're at. The other thing is there's a lot of safety issues associated with pools, right? Because it is a body of water, and specifically with children. If we're buying a house and we have a pool and we have children, or there are children in the neighborhood, we want to make sure it's safe so that children do not access the pool when they're not supposed to, which could lead to accidents we want to avoid, right? So that's why it's important.
What are some key components and areas which are examined during a pool inspection?
There's actually quite a few. So when the inspector comes to the property, the first thing they're going to do when they're approaching the pool is kind of stand back and get a good look at everything to see the safety features around the pool. Do we have a fence? Do we have a barrier, a cover to prevent people from getting to the pool? Then they're going to check the decking. The decking is the area around the pool. They're going to look at it visually, check it out. They're going to look at the surface of the pool, walk around, get an idea what's going on there. Then they're always going to check the pool equipment. That's the next big thing, is all that equipment that cleans the pool, runs the pool. And then lastly would be your electrical, because there is some electrical that goes along with that. There's an electrical panel, a timer that goes along. So all those things get checked as part of our pool inspection.
How can the age and maintenance of a pool affect its inspection process?
Absolutely. It's going to take more time for the inspector to get through that inspection. Older pools tend to be built using older code. And so there's going to be some safety features that are missing. So the inspector is really going to look out for those because, there's been new laws passed over the last 15, 20 years regarding pool safety that need to be installed. And with an older pool, they may not be installed. So we really got to look for those issues. Then if we have older pool equipment, we have to run it. Right? We want to make sure it works, it functions, and we need to observe it running, make sure there's no leaks. So the older pools do take a little bit more time to inspect, and they're going to just have some more maintenance issues, right? And if we don't maintain our pool, it's going to lead to the equipment over time starting to fail and lead to these pool problems. So it is important to always maintain that pool and have a pool technician out on a regular basis to take a look at the pool and take care of that pool.
Are there any specific safety features that inspectors look for in pool areas?
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, pools, it's something we enjoy. We have a lot of fun with swimming in pools, and kids do too. But they can be dangerous because, again, we are dealing with a body of water, right? There is hazards associated with swimming in a pool. So we got to look for those. And mainly when it comes to children's safety, we want to look for barriers, right, that prevent children from accessing the pool when not accompanied by an adult. So we're going to want fencing around the pool, or a pool cover, right? That would be another safety feature. We might look to see, does the house have alarms on the doors or the windows that access the pool, at the rear of our house? because that's another way, a safety feature we could install to kind of let us know, hey, our kid opened the door, went to the backyard, and we did not know, right? Then we're also going to check the drains inside the pool. That's a huge one. Does the drain have the proper cover installed to prevent somebody from getting stuck in that drain when it's, sucking the water into the drain system and circulating that water throughout the pool? People have been hurt from that in the past. So that is something that we always check. And then, kids like to walk and run around the pool. So we'll look for trip hazards that could cause someone to trip and fall. And then lastly would be your egress, getting in and out of that pool. Is there a proper handrail? Is there proper steps? Do we, in the deep end of the pool, is there something for someone to hold on to if they get tired, right? Because maybe they were swimming, they get tired, they need to hold on to something so they don't sink into the water. So those are things that we're really going to look for and highlight in the report if they're deficient or not found.
What are some common signs of pool problems that homeowners should watch out for?
So there are a few you can kind of look out for. One is the water level. How is that water level? Look along the edge of your pool. Usually you have tile, you have some kind of way to gauge what the level of the water is. If that water level drops rapidly or pretty fast, that tells you got an issue. The water level is always going to drop a little bit just due to evaporation, but it shouldn't be a constant thing. It shouldn't be a rapid drop or loss of water in the pool. Sometimes too, also if you have grass around the pool, is it really wet? Is it very green? Does that indicate a possible leakage there and you're feeding water into the soil there, right? So that's another way. And then is our water level? Do you notice the pool kind of sinking or becoming unlevel? That's another way to look, because that can happen over time, and it's not something that would happen rapidly either. That's slowly over years if something starts to sink. So that's something to really kind of keep an eye on there, because you're not going to notice it instantly or at once. It'll take time for you to notice that. Other than that, just stay in communication with your pool maintenance guy, right? He's going to be coming in there on a monthly basis or so, checking your pool, telling you what's going on. And that's the thing, is you got to have your pool inspected on a regular basis by a pool technician, and they're going to come in and maintain it and clean it for you. Some people try to do it themselves, but I would really encourage you have a professional do that on a regular basis.
Can you share some tips for maintaining and prolonging the lifespan of a pool?
Yeah, absolutely. Cleanliness is your biggest thing. Keeping that pool clean, right? Make sure our skimmers aren't dirty and full of a lot of debris, keeping that free and clear of stuff. Making sure we have our pool sweep going on a regular basis. The water is moving and it's flowing. Sitting water turns bad as bacteria will grow in it. We don't want water to sit. We always want that water circulating, right? So make sure we're running a regular schedule and routine on our system, have that timer going, and just keeping that area clean and free of stuff. And if you have a pool cover, put your cover over, right? If you're not using it, because that's going to keep debris from getting inside that pool and clogging it up. Because that's what's going to lead to a lot of your maintenance issues, is if you have a dirty pool.
How do ASHI standards guide your approach as a pool inspector?
So ASHI is the American Society for Home Inspectors, and it is a organization that has existed for quite some time that basically defines what a home inspection is and what the standards are that a home inspector is looking at when they're doing their inspection. So what is written in the report is what basically ASHI has dictated we have to inspect, and what the standards are or the protocols we must follow when doing an inspection. Basically what we look at, what we don't, what we report, what we don't. That's what ASHI does. When we're doing our pool inspection, we're inspecting based off of the standard that has been set by ASHI. They actually have a standard set for pool and spa inspections. So that's what we're doing, right? When we come out, we're not a pool technician from that pool company. They do a more in-depth inspection than we do. We are doing a basic standard inspection based off of what ASHI wants us to do, which again is to check the pool equipment, make sure it runs, make sure it functions, look for those safety hazards, look for defects in the material. Is there a deficient item in the pool that really could lead to a health hazard, right? So we're looking at these things, and it's a basic visual inspection at the time, right? We don't check the chlorine. We're not going to tell you the chemical composition or anything like that. So that's more in depth, and that's what your pool guy would do.
Sure.
So you may have us do the inspection as part of the real estate transaction, so you have a basic idea of what's going on with the pool. And that's where we're going to give you a general overview of the condition. Now, after that, once you moved into the house, you most definitely want that pool guy to come out, find that company, and find a really good pool technician, a company with good reviews. They can send someone out on a monthly or bi-monthly basis and have them come and take a look at the pool. And they're going to keep up that maintenance. They're going to keep up those annual, the reoccurring inspections to let you know if anything happens. So you definitely want to do that after you've moved into the house and got into that house. Okay?
Get a guaranteed cash offer on your home from TradeMyHome.com, powered by Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. We provide upfront written offers at a price agreeable to you. Experience a guaranteed sell with a hassle-free, highest and best price sell within your time frame. Are you selling your home in the next 3 to 6 months? Text PAIR to 408-740-7400 for a free and no obligation professional equity appraisal report. For more information, visit TradeMyHome.com or call 408-740-7400. Remember, at TradeMyHome.com, your home is sold guaranteed or we'll buy it.
What is the typical cost associated with a professional pool inspection?
So at HomeGuard, we charge $295 to do a pool inspection. Now, you do have an option. If you do order a home or a termite inspection from us, we will provide that pool inspection for free if you choose it. So you basically get a choice of one of 3 inspections to have for free with your home and termite. It could be the roof, the pool, or the sewer lateral. Each of them would cost $295. You choose which one you want. Maybe you had a brand new roof installed on the house, so you really don't need a roof inspection. It's a new roof, so you choose your pool inspection as your free inspection.
How can pool inspection findings affect the negotiations in a real estate transaction?
I think your biggest thing with that is going to be the cost of repairs, right? If we do find some major issues with the pool, what is going to be the overall cost to take care of that and make that pool safe, right? Because that's the biggest thing. Is the pool usable and is it safe to have in your backyard, especially if you have children? And so if you're a buyer, I really encourage you to make that decision. Do you want a pool or do you not want a pool? And research and look at what it costs to run and maintain a pool, because they aren't cheap, they are expensive. So really decide on that if that's something you want. And, if you're looking at inspections that have been done on pools when you're purchasing a house, look at the safety hazards that have been pointed out. Do you have children? Yes. Well, maybe you want to have some of these safety hazards really taken care of. So then maybe you want to negotiate, talk to your real estate agent and negotiate with the owner of the home who's selling it to see if anything can be done on that. Maybe things can be repaired, or they, give you a price cut to compensate for that, or maybe not. It really comes down to the market. So again, I always say talk to your real estate agent to see where the market's at. But for pools, it really is a personal decision on buyers. Do you want that liability? Do you want that risk? And the cost that comes with that? Is it worth it to you?
And what are some costs associated with installing a new pool or removing an already installed pool?
Yeah, that's a good question. And pools are not cheap. They're quite expensive. You're talking tens of thousands of dollars to remove a pool or to fill it in. A lot of times people want to just fill it in, and some places won't even allow you to do that. They want the concrete removed and broken out. So that depends on the city you're in too. They may not allow you to fill in the pool. They may say remove it, right? And then that's going to get expensive. And then installing a new pool or repairing a pool, again, can be very costly. I've seen pools cost easily $50,000 to have done. Or you get above ground pools that are a lot cheaper. They're maybe $10,000, $15,000. So they are expensive. And then there's that maintenance cost that comes along with that. And that is a monthly maintenance cost. So be aware of that.
Can you provide some examples of common pool issues you see during our inspections and their remedial process?
Sure. Honestly, the most common ones I see are access to the pool, having a proper safety barrier to keep children out. We see that all the time, right? And that's having a fence around the pool and that fence separating the house from the pool, right? We're not talking our perimeter fence in the backyard. We're talking specifically around the pool. And I quite often don't see that when doing inspections. So that's a common one. The remedy is pretty straightforward and easy. You have a pool company come out and they're going to install a fence around the pool. They have mesh ones that are easy to stick into the ground. They're much easier to install versus a hard installed fence made of wood that we have to install posts and whatnot. We can do that as well, or you can put a steel one around. It's up to you. There's lots of options there. But that is the most common thing. Another thing is a pool cover. A lot of times we don't see pool covers, and they're great additions to have in terms of maintenance, right? They're going to reduce your maintenance, and because it's going to keep your pool cleaner if we're using that. And it also acts, again, as a safety barrier, right, to keep people out of the pool. And then another common issues is with the equipment. We see leaks quite often in the booster or in the pump or in the piping, and a lot of the times that pool equipment's exposed. It's not covered with a roof or something to protect it from the sun or the elements. And I always recommend that if we're going to have pool equipment, it's expensive. We spent a lot of money. We invested a lot into that. So let's cover it. Right. Let's protect it. Put a shed over it. Put some kind of roof over it to keep it so it's not exposed to the elements, because that will deteriorate the equipment over time.
Thank you so much, Travis, for being part of our show today. Keep up the great work, and let's stay in touch.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. I really appreciated talking.
For the next episode of Real Estate IQ, featuring Travis Palser, the Vice President of Operations at HomeGuard.
So if we're a buyer and we're purchasing a house, we want to know what's going on with the sewer lateral, because it is a system that we cannot see.
With expertise and a keen eye, he has assisted numerous Silicon Valley homeowners and investors. His journey and insights offer valuable lessons in property care and investment.
Right. So we always want to get that stuff checked, because it is expensive to fix. It's not cheap. We have to dig up the pipe in order to fix it, right? It's the only way to fix it. So because it's out of...
Check out our full episode on Tuesdays at 5 o'clock Pacific and 8 o'clock Eastern on YouTube and Apple Podcast. Thank you for listening to the podcast and acknowledging the wisdom of smart moves in real estate in Silicon Valley. Please share this episode with a friend, subscribe, and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts at Real Estate IQ. Thank you to our sponsor, TradeMyHome.com, for their client commitment and for making this podcast possible. If you're considering buying or selling a home, visit TradeMyHome.com. Until next time, remember to stay ahead in the real estate game.